¿Cómo podría bajar aquí una persona, un anciano?
Huh. Would you look at that? You know, I've heard of mermaids. But mudmen? Did somebody capture a strange creature emerging from the floodwater in Santo Domingo, Peru during the flood of 2002? Or has the internet taken it upon itself to muddy up the truth? Let's go ahead and have a closer look, as I don't believe this to be anything paranormal, and perhaps I can clear the skies over this clouded video. And as always, please be sure to go and watch the whole original video, as there was much more going on there information-wise than what I could share with you in that short Stitch time frame. So let's part the waters and start this breakdown. First things first, this is a list of the enhancements that I made to the video for clarity. And to be honest, the enhancements really didn't seem to help out that much at first as far as clarity-wise. But as you'll see at the end of this video, these enhancements actually did make a world of difference, as I wouldn't have noticed what I noticed without them. As the camera turns in the news broadcast to show the devastation of the flood, they happen to capture a weird-looking figure that seems to be crawling up the staircase. So the quality of this video is very poor, which doesn't help anything, but I did notice through the enhancements that this figure seems to be holding a stick of some kind. I assume it's a cane. Perhaps this person's handicapped. Which would explain why when they started going up the steps, they fell. They couldn't withstand the force of the rushing water if they were indeed handicapped in some way. And the first few times that I watched this video, I honestly thought that this figure was reaching for the handrail. Perhaps as a way to try and help themselves up so they could force themselves up the staircase to safety. But through the enhancement process and then watching the video again, I noticed they weren't reaching for the handrail at all. They were actually reaching past it. Which leads us to the ultimate and viable question of why would they be reaching through the handrail and not for the handrail itself if they were trying to get up off the ground so they could make their way to safety? And as I mentioned earlier, this is where the enhancements were the key for my assessment. What I want you to do in this picture is don't focus on the figure, don't focus on the handrail. Look past the handrail. You see that slightly curved sheen? That tells me there's a metallic object of some kind on the other side of that handrail, almost pressed right up against it. And to be honest, that metallic sheen has almost a perfect shape for the curved roof of, say, a car. And he's low enough on the staircase that where he would have been reaching would be exactly where the driver's side window would be sitting. So if you ask me, I think this is a good Samaritan, not a mudman. Perhaps the news crew walked by and didn't realize that somebody may have been trapped inside of that vehicle. And perhaps this person noticed that there was someone in the vehicle and they stopped to try and help. Which would be why they were reaching through the handrail to where the window might be, instead of reaching for the handrail itself. And you'll hear in the original video that the newscaster does not notice the person on the staircase. Why did she not notice? Just because the camera panned back down the staircase doesn't mean the newscaster was looking in that direction. And to be honest, if someone was in that car screaming, you may not have heard it over the sound of the rushing water. So Mudman, Mud Monster, yeah, I think not. I think this is a good Samaritan that saw a car and wanted to ensure that no one was trapped inside, and if someone was, perhaps they could help them get out. But that's just my opinion. Cheers.